much more of working as hard as they can and doing the best they can and not being lazy bums.
I don't really feel like they, have to go to college if they don't want to. It's a choice that they'll have to make whether they want to or not.
That they come away from high school with a broader understanding of many different subjects.
I feel pretty responsible for it, making sure they get to school on time, get their stuff done that they're supposed to get done.
Not really a lot on their money-wise as far as saying I'm going to give you a college education.
I think the school is responsible for my kids' education. The teachers have to stay on top of it, but I'm also responsible because they are my kids. And if I don't look out for my kids, who's going to?
I feel very responsible for their education, but not in the teaching of them, but the reinforcing of learning and making sure that they're on top of everything that they're supposed to be doing.
Obviously, have to provide structures to house the kids, being school buildings and teachers that are competent. And every once in a while, if the parents have to kick in for lab fees or some things like that, that's okay.
Financially, well, I think they should provide a new car so that I don't have to do it. And academically, I expect them to teach them everything that they need to know to get through life.
Like as far as like lunch and that, that's not necessary. Because they can always be brought to school. I don't really see any differences too much.
How does school compare? There are a lot more financial problems that are here now that weren't when I was in school. Academically, I think a lot of the programs are very similar.
I think school today is very similar to what it was like when I was in high school. Everybody talks about how kids are different, and I think kids are different, but kids are different all the time. Education's a pendulum. What gets popular now won't be popular later. So right now we're in the swing of let's give them less work at home, and hopefully that doesn't affect the classes I teach too much because I want a more traditional approach to that.
In general, I don't think the pressures on students is very high. There are many classrooms that have zero expectations on homework. Show up for class and you'll do fine. And I don't think that reinforces the learning process.
I don't think academically it's excessive.
Yes, I believe that there is an excessive pressure, but I don't really think it has affected any, their academic ability or, their well-being.
So I think there's a lot of pressure that doesn't need to be on kids. They're too young. You can't handle all that much stress. But I would say if there's less stress on getting everything done, they would be so much better off. I think their whole well-being, and they come home and they would feel a lot more satisfied.
I think students think the pressure put on them is excessive, but I'm going to suggest, based on my last answer too about the amount of work expected out of them, that it's not excessive. Students are adding their own pressure onto themselves because they're putting their time into places that aren't really necessary and aren't important. And yet, a lot of adults buy into that and think that that kind of thing is important, but they're as misguided as the kids are sometimes, and they need to figure that out. And hopefully they will.